Hi guys, I'm Dean and welcome back to another edition of The Inebriologist. So this week, this is going to be, well, quite a memorable beer to try actually, just because of the fact that this particular brewery is no longer with us. I think the owners have changed over to something else now. I think they're starting up another brewery, or they've got another brewery on the go now, I think, from what I've heard in the grapevine. But yeah, this is an all-time favourite beer of mine personally. But yeah, it's well, I'll just show you because rather than just babbling on. So the beer I'm going to reveal this week is none other than Otley 10 Oxymoron, and that's coming in at 5.5% ABV, and that's the simple sort of Otley logo there, the O, and it is a 500ml bottle, which is traditionally what they always sort of serve their beers in anyway. So yeah, as I said, this brewery is no longer with us, which is really gutting, because some of the best beers I've ever had have been from this brewery. They've been incredible. But yeah, I think this is probably one of the last bottles of the Oxymoron in existence. I think there's only another, maybe a couple of places I know that do stock it. If you manage to get your hands on one of these, savour it, savour every little drop of it. It's just a shame they've gone out of business and everything, but it's just it's one of those things, unfortunately. Time to get into a glass and see what we got. Yeah, and I was going to show you the glass I'm using this week, which is just a half-pint glass, but it's one of my Welsh Beer Festival ones, I think. Well, it's organised by Camera. Yeah, Camera. So it's the Great Welsh Beer and Cider Festival, and that was in 2015, so it's a few years ago. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention as well that the beer itself is a black IPA, so it is a hopped black IPA, so we shall see. Yeah, it doesn't really say what sort of hops are in it anyway, but you know, it's such a great beer anyway that no need to know their secret recipes. So here goes the last pour, probably one of the last pours of the Otley Oxymoron. So here it goes. So there we go. Straight away you can tell that it is a black IPA. There's not a great, I can't really see any light coming out of that at all. No, absolutely no light coming out of that. It's got a slightly off-white sort of tan head. There's a lot of bubbles on the bottom, but I think it's because I haven't washed the glass properly. So, but yeah, you can see that the head's sort of dissipating a little bit now. There's hardly any light going through that at all. As I said, it's jet black pretty much. But yeah, time to have a little bit of a smell and see what we got. Yeah, fantastic smell on it. It's just got this sort of really dark, sort of black treacle sort of smell about it, but at the same time it does smell quite sweet. Yeah, you can smell that sort of molasses, sort of caramelized sort of smell on it, but it's also at the same time very sort of subtly sort of smoked smell running through it. We've also got sort of like the dark sort of chocolate espresso going through there. It does smell like a very sort of rich mocha type thing. Even through all those dark malts that they've used in there, I'm guessing they probably must have used at least 5 or 6 different types of malts. So your base, sort of few base malts, and then sort of like the darker roast malts on top, then just to give it that sort of colour and that smell. It smells incredible though. It's that sort of type of smell where it's like also like a fruit cake. I know I keep mentioning this all the time, you know, it's all those fruits that you do associate with fruit cakes, are like pruny sort of raisiny smells. It's also a little bit nutty as well on the end. But yeah, this is a beer which I've always loved drinking in the winter time, because it's just really warming, and you know, it's the flavours are fantastic and they all sort of intermingle really well. Yeah, it's just smells like a great beer, you know. As I said with the hops as well, there is a little bit of that sort of hop presence through there, but not enough really to sort of kill the essence of the beer with those dark malts. So time to dive in and yeah, try it for maybe possibly the last time ever. Cheers. Oh, unbelievable. It's a fantastic beer. Yeah, I'm not saying it just for the sheer hell of it or anything like that, but that is, as far as a black IPA goes, that has to be one of the best in the world for that style of beer. It's just all the flavours work really, really well together. It's not sort of overpowered by one thing or the other. The balance of it is incredible. You know, like straight in the front, it's got that sweetness then that does come through. It's like a chocolatey, sort of milky molasses type of sweetness that does come through, and then as it hits the back of the throat then and it goes down, you've got that sort of coffee bitterness then, and I just love that sort of coffee bitterness that you do get in some beers, you know. But yeah, that's a fantastic beer. That's really, really good. It's one of those type of beers where, you know, it's a shame, you know, that basically it's not going to be made in production anymore. And it's just, if you do, as I said, if you do manage to get your hands on a bottle of it, you know, cherish it. It's unbelievable stuff. I'll be sipping this later on, really. You know, the smell of the beer is very, very close to how it does actually taste. You know, I've had beers before where the smell is completely different to what the taste is, but this one tastes pretty much almost bang on to what the smell is, which is very, very good. There's not a lot of carbonation to it as well. It literally is. It's as you drink it, it just cleanses the palate. It's not sort of too carbonated. Because I don't like IPAs or black IPAs which are too carbonated anyway. So it's kind of on the verge of being very close to like a porter, but not as full bodied as what you get with a porter. But yeah, as I already covered, sort of chocolate espresso bitterness, sweet right up front. And it's got those sort of winter fruits, and it's got that plummy sort of flavour to it as well. But yeah, it's just outstanding beer. So the score I'm going to give this beer in particular, you know, a beer which well, as I said, probably won't be having ever again, which is a shame. But send me all of your bottles of Oxymoron if you want to, if you manage to find any out there, because it's, as I said, it's cracking. Which brings me on to the marking. So yeah, the score I'm going to give this beer, well actually, since it is probably the last time I'll have this beer, I will give it a 4.5, because it is that good. So yeah, this beer is 4.5 out of 5. I think it might be the highest rating beer I've given it on the list anyway, but yeah, 4.5, and it's well worth the marking on that, because it is incredible. As I said, you know, the well balanced flavours in there. It's not too hoppy, you know, it's not masked by alcohol as well. It's easy drinking, yeah, and just like that sort of bitterness. It's kind of like just on the edge of not sort of blowing your head off with the bitterness as well, which is just fantastic. So yeah, well worthy of the 4.5 anyway. So yeah, incredible. So thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to more beer videos, and I shall see you very soon. Iechyd.